Hello, this is Iron Bill back again with another video. It's rather late on a Wednesday night. I've been playing a lot of Iron Banner on my alt account, as I promised to do last week. And yeah, I'm learning a few things. And the thing to remember, when you're playing a new light character, especially way under leveled for Iron Banner, which is power enabled, I'm playing at about the 1260 range, which is going to put me quite low below the 1310 that is the current season cap. I'm giving up quite a bit. Now, Iron Banner has a rough range. If you're within 30 to 40, it's not real awful, but you get outside of that range, things get bad pretty fast. And it made me think of a little bit of history, and I'm going to digress just a bit. I've always been a World War II buff, in particular World War II aviation. In fact, I came from a flight sim background in gaming, and was actually quite competitive for a lot of years, and that's been a long time ago. But in World War II, at the start of the war, America was ill prepared for the conflict that was ahead, and they were arrogant, and they did not consider the technological capabilities of their enemies, particularly the Japanese. And it was quite a shock received by the Americans when war did began, and they were introduced to a fighter that had been terrorizing Southeast Asia and China for some time, for a couple of years, and that of course was the Mitsubishi Zero. The Zero was faster, better armed, could climb faster, and could outmaneuver any American aircraft. Okay, so it would seem like it would be the supreme fighter, and at that time of the war, it really was. And it didn't seem as though the Americans could crack that nut. And despite what Ben Affleck told us in his rendition of Pearl Harbor, which was ridiculous, the fighters that were on hand on the day that Pearl Harbor was attacked could not outfly the Japanese Zeros. In fact, most of them were shot right off the runway that tried to take off. I think there might have been one or two losses to Allied aircraft, and it wouldn't have been the Zeros. So the Zeros that were lost that day were almost entirely lost to ground fire, or other mishaps. Anyway, it was early in 1942 that the Japanese were attempting to draw the American fleets, particularly the carriers, into a conclusive battle where they could be destroyed, and therefore destroy the Americans' ability to conduct war at all in the Pacific for months, if not years. They attacked the Aleutian Islands, and in the process of doing so, they lost a Zero, which was recovered by the Americans. And it was then that the Americans figured out what the weaknesses of the Zero were, and that is, it was very lightly armored, and had no self-sealing fuel tanks, which meant if you could put a good burst of fire into it, it would catch fire and explode. And that turned out to be a huge Achilles heel. And with that information in mind, the United States very quickly designed fighters that were specifically designed to exploit that flaw. And hence you have the F-65 Hellcat made by the Grumman Company. 650 caliber machine guns would just shred a Zero in one burst. So this plane was faster than Zero. It could climb on par with it. It couldn't turn with it, although it could turn well. But it didn't matter. It didn't get into turn fights alone with Zeros. It simply slashed and dashed. Now, that history lesson aside, what does it have to do with gameplay? Well, it's about figuring out what you can and can't do with your character. And in my case, I'm a low light character that's 50 levels below the current light level. I'm the Zero. And the only way I'm going to stay alive is by moving and outmaneuvering and picking and choosing fights where I have a chance to win. If I were the more powerful enemy, I would be the Grumman Hellcat, and I would just make slashing attacks. That being said, let's watch a little gameplay. And this is going to be on Endless Vale, and I'm solo queuing Iron Banner. I think I'm playing... I was on the quest step for the season where I had to get submachine gun kills. So I believe I'm doing that. I'm not quite sure what else I'm carrying. That's me over on the far right here. So submachine gun, shotgun, And it's a 7th Seraph CQC and a blue rocket launcher, which is nondescript and doesn't matter. I think I might get 1 kill in all the matches that I played tonight with it. And that happened, well, for 2 reasons. First of all, he's way above my level, and all he had to do is one-shot me. But the other thing was, I've got a problem with sprint stopping on my fire on auto-firing weapons, and it happens frequently. Then my aim assist pulled me off of the character I was trying to shoot as he ran across. You know, and the thing is, I'm not going to get a long time in front of somebody. I really need to run with my team, and that was a good play. Need to run with my team. I just didn't have enough to finish him off, and then, yeah, there we go, get him. And I need to team fire, because if I stand out in the open against anybody with basically any kind of weapon, they're going to destroy me. And something like a steady hand can often one-tap me where I'm at, or igneous hammer. Not doing real well with them either, and I get frozen on this. See, if I had more power, he'd have been dead. And you know, I accept that going into this. I'm not going to complain about it. I came into this 50 levels down. So I figured this is one of the better ways to advance my character. And honestly, I could also get some decent weapons in here that this character doesn't have. I'm just, yeah, waiting for this guy to move around. Got an assist on it. You know, watching this, it's a little painful in some ways because I always see all the errors, all the warts that I have. I realize I can't stay there, though. That guy's got an angle on me. And part of me has the mindset of a character whose power level's on par, but when I think about it, I'm probably doing what I have to do. Okay, now there's a character in the tunnel. I have to be careful about leaving myself exposed there, but I also want to watch up the hill. Anyway, I'm not going to be too hard on playing back at times and waiting for my teammates to move. I have to do that, or I'm just going to feed kills to the other team. And at times tonight, I lost patience with my teammates who were all just sitting back and trying to team shoot from the back of the map. And you know, I don't care about my KD. You know, I want to contribute to the team and I want to help win. But if the team's just determined that they're going to lose anyway by just sitting in the back of the map while we get picked off, I'm not doing it. I'd rather die fighting. So here we go. There's the igneous hammer. He got me with 2, I think. And I'm trying to defend zones and go at them where possible. I was trying to slide into the corridor here. Oh, by the way, I was also using Void in order to be able to go invisible. I thought that might give me a little bit more of an edge. I should have shot that in the back of the map. I would have trapped that guy, but in the end, I was trying to get these guys right here before they could push. And I needed some machine gun kills, so I pushed into something that I almost certainly knew was going to kill me. But, yeah. The guy at the bottom dollar cleans me up after I get my submachine gun kill. And you know, where this is right now with the submachine gun, you know, obviously I have to get awfully close to make that work. And, yeah, you know, it's one of those deals like that. And that guy was warping around a little bit, as you noticed. He's the guy who just shouldered me, and then all of a sudden he's someplace else. I almost left the match when we started on one of them. It might have been him. Maybe it was another match. Connections tonight weren't great, let's just say that. I didn't leave any matches because of it, but it was close. Alright, so trying to defend, and of course he just peeks over and kills me. Fell winners. That's the thing, you know, that's kind of frustrating when you come in here underpowered and all that. I mean, you're going to run against people who are full meta, and no whining about it. I mean, you know, and I have to remind myself that I knew coming in what was going to happen. And when I sit back and think about it, it doesn't bother me too much. But at the time, you know, I'm not handling it well. So they're all over, and except for the stasis, I probably would have had him. That guy with the Devil's Rune was actually wrecking us there for a while. And you know, we were quite a bit up, and then things tightened up. And a lot of it had to do with my team, or the supers for one thing, okay? I mean, supers really throw the balance off, particularly stasis, but Yeah, they just got some momentum going, I guess, and our team got timid and just tried to sit back on the zone. And how do you like that for a spawn? That was some bad luck right there. And there wasn't a darn thing I could have done about that. I mean, I stood up and got frozen. Alright, so I'm trying to avoid dying here and defend this zone somewhat. Trying to. There he is. He doesn't even look at me, but there's another one. And I just don't have the power to stop that. The CQC is not really a one-hit shotgun unless everything lands dead center, which it typically doesn't. So that's one you need to follow up with the melee since it's a lightweight. And, you know, his melee was going to kill me before I could get that melee in. But I got him that time. He was damaged before I put the shotgun shot into him. And I've got to get out of there because that grenade's going to polish me. Alright, so they're within 11. And I'm actually not too unhappy with the way things are going. Got a team shot on that guy and an assist. And really, that's about all I could expect to happen. You know, I'm trying to, yeah, right there. Pick that guy up, slid under him. I mean, some of my movement here is good. I mean, it's awkward. It's only in spurts, and I make some bad choices, but my play is becoming more active. And that's really been something that's been a flaw. One of the biggest flaws of my game, other than aim, which is a huge flaw. Okay, this guy's just going to polish me with that. Waited too long to decide to switch over to a shotgun, and I should have pushed into him. So here we are within 7 points. It's getting exciting. It's getting close, and they're just doing a good job of controlling B. Our guys are just concerned about holding C, but you know, if you're trading kills and they've got 2 zones, they're winning. I mean, that's the clear obvious thing. Okay, but he got me with a Wither Horde. See, the trade there actually benefited him. They're 2 zones up. I mean, that's it, you know, and we can't afford to go 1-to-1 with him. We've either got to really slay out on him or we've got to take a zone. Now, I'm about to have my super. I get popped by a messenger, and he teabags me. I mean, come on. Teabags me. He's probably 50 over me, light-wise, and he teabags me for killing me with a meta weapon. You gotta laugh at that stuff. He got killed for it, too, so that's also good. Alright, now check this out. And there's the win. Alright, doesn't matter, I died right after that. By killing that guy with my super, we got it. And it was close. Now, I will say this. I enjoyed that kind of a match. I mean, yeah, I got cleaned up a lot by people who are way overpowered. That's the way it is, okay? But even within that, my Zero held its own in many ways against those Hellcats tonight. So, Banzai. All right, all kidding aside, that's probably going to do it for the evening. And I want to thank you for watching. And if the history on the front end bored you, I'm sorry. I'm really kind of geekish on that sort of stuff. You know, if you ever want to know World War II history, particularly aviation, I'm your guy. So with that said, I'm going to call it a night. So this is Iron Bill signing off.